we are going to cover 3 tips to improve your writing. I've chosen 1 tip for everybody to use, including beginners, and 2 tips that I hope are good for intermediate to more advanced level learners. So I hope that everybody can find something in today's lesson that will help them be a better writer. So, as you join today's lesson, please make sure to like and share this video so that other people can find the lesson. That would be super, super awesome. And of course, if you're joining live, please make sure to send a message in the chat so we can say hello to you. While we wait, as always, a couple of short announcements. First, this banner at the bottom of the screen is about free PDF lessons that you can find from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching this on Facebook. Here are a few examples of them. They are divided, they're PDFs divided according to topic. So you can choose a topic that you'd like to work on. So for example, dining, like food and drink, or music, and so on. There are many different topics to choose from. School, let's see, there are tons, here we go. Emergency words, always important. So choose a couple of these and practice these for free. You can find everything from the link above or below the video. That's announcement number 1. As always, announcement number 2 is about Ask Alicia, our weekly Q&A series. If you have questions for me about something different from today's topic, or you think about something totally unrelated, like to today's lesson, whatever, vocabulary, grammar, culture points, you can send it to me for this series. This is called, again, Ask Alicia. It is our weekly question and answer series. So you can send me your questions at englishclass101.com/ask-alicia. Also check the English Class 101 YouTube page to see all of these lessons and see if you can find something of interest. All right, I see many people have joined us. Welcome, everybody. Hi, YouTube. I see YouTube. Anderson and Zhao and Karina, Ruth, Dario, Jantini, Fam, Srinivas, Anita. Hello, everybody. Facebook, I'm coming for you. If you have not joined our live stream in a while, I am broadcasting from my home, so we're going to use small whiteboards today. Okay, great. I see you, Facebook. Welcome, everybody on Facebook. I'm going to share the video. And then who's on Facebook? Mohammed, Silla, Noresh, Yoza. Hello, Rai. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Okay, everyone is here. Everybody is ready. Let's look at today's lesson boards. Uh-oh, sorry. I got to take my Ask Alicia picture away. Okay, this is what we're going to practice today. Part 1 today will be which words to try to cut in your writing to improve your vocabulary. This is the tip for beginners. Everybody can use this tip. 2 and 3. The first, or rather the second tip we're going to talk about is called faulty parallelism. Don't worry about the name. The important part is to remember what you need to avoid in this error. Part 3, we're going to talk about another more advanced mistake, the dangling modifier. Again, I know that sounds weird, like what is that? We're going to learn this in today's lesson. So let's begin. Let's begin now with our beginner tip. Okay, so first tip for today is to improve your writing and build your vocabulary. So this is something, I said beginner tip, but actually this is a tip for everybody. I need to use this tip sometimes. Everybody, every level can use this tip. This tip is try not to use words like these. So I made a list of 6 words. They are very, pretty, really, so, quite, rather, and there are some other words too. So when I say pretty, I don't mean like when we want to say a flower is pretty or a person is pretty, I don't mean that. When we say something is pretty exciting or pretty cheap or pretty expensive, that use of pretty. Same thing with so. When you use so to mean extremely. So these words, a challenge for you in your writing is to try not to use these words. So why? Because these words are very common, right? So we use these a lot to emphasize the adjective or the adverb that comes next. What should you do? To work on improving your writing and your vocabulary, find one word that means the same thing as one of the above plus an adjective or an adverb. So what am I talking about? What does this mean? For example, let's look at some examples. Very fast. So very is a word on this list, and we have fast, an adjective, yeah? So a good way to practice is to think about it when you're writing. This is hard to do in speech, but when you're writing and you see, like, oh, I wrote very fast, think about how you can put these two words together. So what is one word that means very fast? For example, rapid. So rapid is one word that means very fast, right? So this is a really good exercise to learn new words and to make your writing more efficient and like to build your vocabulary. So this is a super helpful tip for writers of all levels. Everybody can use this. Okay, let's look at some other examples of ways we can do this. Here's another one, really big. So really big, this is common, yeah? Really big, one word that means really big is huge, huge. And again, these are not the only words that mean these things. It's just an example, so you can build your vocabulary and practice them. Quite far, quite far. One word that means quite far is distant, for example. Pretty cheap, pretty cheap. Something that is pretty cheap is affordable, yeah? So one word instead of two, and the word is more advanced than just these two. Something that is so scary is terrifying or horrifying. Something that is rather difficult is tough, yeah? So these are the 6 words on this list. There are other words that you can do the same exercise with, but I think this is a good place to start. So again, consider how you can make 2 words into 1 word. So I know you might think, how do I do this? Like, I don't know this word. How do I choose this word? How do I know? So here's a 2-step process you can try to work on this. Step 1, use a thesaurus to look for a new word. What's a thesaurus? You might not know what a thesaurus is. A thesaurus is a collection of words like a dictionary. You can look up, you can search for a word in a thesaurus, but you don't find the meaning of the word in a thesaurus. Instead, you find other words with similar or the same meaning as that word. There are lots of words that have similar meanings, so thesauruses are very useful. It's actually hard to say. So you do this. So for example, when you write this word, fast, you might think, fast, that's a really simple, basic word. What's a word that means fast? So check a thesaurus online, there are online ones, and look for another word. So a problem, though, that many writers and learners encounter, they find a new word in the thesaurus and they think, I can use this word. But we have to understand the nuances, like the detailed meanings of these words. How do we do that? So step 2, after you find a new word you think you want to use from the thesaurus, check the meaning in a dictionary. So that means just take that word, take your new word, and put it in the dictionary search tool online, or check it in your physical dictionary to see what the meaning is. So in this way, you can build your vocabulary naturally through your writing, and you become more efficient. Okay? So this is our first tip for today. This is the tip for everyone to use. So I hope that this is helpful for you. Okay, so check it out. Try to remove these words. There are other words you can try to remove as well. If you want a super challenge, you can try removing just, as in very recently. That's another good one to do. So give this a try. Everybody can try this. I'm going to try to do this in my writing too, removing these words. Okay, I'm looking for your questions. Some of you are making example sentences with these new vocabulary words. Fantastic. Arshad says, what is the difference between suddenly and rapid? Well, something that is rapid is an adjective, suddenly is an adverb. So something suddenly happened, but rapid describes someone's movement or something's movement. So the train is a rapid train, it moves quickly, but the train suddenly moved. They are different parts of speech. Okay. Other questions? I don't see any. Okay. Oh, no, wait. Bhavna says giant and huge are the same. They can be. So giant and huge can both mean very big, yeah? But sometimes it depends on the part of speech. A giant. Giant can also be used as a noun. A giant is a very, very big person, like in a fantasy story. That's a giant, a very big person. So it depends sometimes on the way the word is used. Okay, someone says they're from Uzbekistan, their first time online. Welcome, that's super cool, Jamshid, awesome. Why are you using the same blackboard? Because I'm at home. Okay, let's go to a quick break and then we'll continue to tip number 2. So if you're just joining, today's lesson is about 3 tips to improve your writing. 3 tips to improve your writing. I just talked about which words you can cut to improve your writing and vocabulary. Now I'm going to talk about a more advanced tip, but in case you have not, please make sure to like and share this video so other learners can find today's lesson. Oops, sorry, I just realized I took away that banner. Sorry, guys. Okay. Oh yeah, also, if you have not, this banner I just replaced at the bottom of the screen. You can find free lessons, free vocabulary PDFs to download. So you can choose a topic that is interesting to you or that you want to practice. Maybe this one's a little difficult right now, but we can, oh, this one's great for right now, cooking. So you can choose a topic that is interesting for you or that you want to practice and download these for free. So check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube or above the video if you are watching on Facebook. Okay. All right, let's continue on. A question on Facebook. Ledin says, could you let me know what is the difference between mass and huge? Maybe you mean massive and huge. Massive, it depends, again, a little bit. So massive and huge, what's the difference is this question from Facebook. They both mean very, very big. We tend to use, we often use massive in casual situations, like when we're talking with our friends, but you can also use massive to describe like amounts of things, same as with huge too. So some of these words we can use in overlapping ways, but we use them like in different levels of formality too. So short answer, they're kind of the same, I guess, for massive and huge. Okay, on to part 2. If you missed it, today's lesson boards are these. So we just talked about this point, how to improve your writing and build your vocabulary by trying to remove some words. Now let's go to this one, faulty parallelism. What is that? So I mentioned this tip on Instagram yesterday and the following one. You don't need to remember, it's not so important to remember this, this word. It's not a word we use in everyday conversation. We use it in grammar lessons and for editing. But I want you to remember the type of mistake that this is so that you can practice correct writing. So what is this? Let's look at a sample mistake. Let's look at a sample of this problem of faulty parallelism. Here we go. My friends are smart, funny, and always cheer me up. My friends are smart, funny, and always cheer me up. Okay. Oh, thanks, Ana Lucia on YouTube. That's awesome. Appreciate it. So again, my friends are smart, funny, and always cheer me up. You might be like, what's the problem here? I don't see a problem here. It makes sense. Yes, we understand what the person wants to say in this sentence, right? But the problem here is our grammar. Why? We have 3 points in this sentence. So my subject is my friends, yeah? My friends are smart, adjective, funny, adjective, and always cheer me up. Always cheer me up is not an adjective. That's a verb phrase, right? So I have always, my adverb of frequency there, but they cheer me up. They cheer me up. So that I'm using a verb there. That's not a match. This is adjective, adjective, verb phrase. So when we write lists especially, we have 1, 2, 3 items, or A or B. When we do this, the items in our list need to match or be parallel grammatically. So this mismatch, where I have 3 items, 2 are adjectives, 1's a verb phrase, this mismatch is called faulty parallelism. This is an example of a situation where the items in a list do not match grammatically. So I have this written here. The items in your list or series do not use all the same grammatical form or structure. So that's the problem we're seeing here. Yes, we can understand what the speaker means, but it sounds strange, or it seems strange when we read it because the grammar does not match. So this is the key point I want you to remember from point 2 today. Yeah? Okay. So how do we fix this problem? How do we fix this error? Find the item that is different and rewrite it, or rewrite your sentence to match the grammar of the other items. Okay, so pretty easy, right? So here is how we could do that. My friends are smart, funny, and cheerful. So cheerful is an adjective. Now the sentence is nice. Adjective, 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 yeah? So this is something to keep an eye out for in your writing. Here are some examples of patterns where we often see this problem. I talked about this, A, B, and C. That was my example. Or A, B, or C. When you see this pattern, make sure A, B, and C all match. Or, A and B, or A or B. Also this pattern, not only A, but also B. So these are patterns that are like, they're showing 2 things in a series, or they're showing a list of items. So how do we identify? Just as I did here, I have these 3 points. I checked each point to see what type of speech it is. You can do the same thing. So check each item or phrase in your sentence to see if the grammar matches. So you don't have to use adjective, adjective, adjective every time. Maybe your list is nouns, like I need to buy fruit, vegetables, and milk. Those are 3 nouns. So make sure all the items in your list have the same grammar. They use the same part of speech. That is the key with this. So when everything matches, we say everything is parallel. Okay, good. Cheer me up. What does it mean? People are asking about cheer me up. So to cheer someone up means to improve their mood. So if I feel sad, if I feel like lonely or down, and my friend tells me a joke or funny story and I feel better, we describe that as cheering someone up. To cheer someone up means to improve their mood, to cause someone to become happy. I hope that helps you. Someone says, my friends are smart, funny, and they cheer me up. So again, check your grammar. Smart, adjective. Funny, adjective. They cheer me up. Is that an adjective? If they're not all the same grammatical structure, then we need to make a change. So again, yes, I understand you. 100% I understand you. But for your writing, you need to make sure the grammar of your items matches. Okay, what's your name? My name is Alicia. Let's see. Others. Okay, I don't see other questions, so I'll finish point 2 there. Also, point 3 will take some time, so I'll stop there. Okie dokie, let's take a quick break. I hope that was good. Okay, I don't see other questions coming in. Oh, Passion for Flowers has a nice example on YouTube. Ice cold water and coffee make me happy. Good. So, noun phrase, noun phrase. Perfect, perfect. Okay, then let's continue. Someone keeps asking, what's your name on YouTube? You can maybe not do that. Okay, let's take one more quick break. If you missed it, there is free stuff for you from the link below the video on YouTube and above the video on Facebook. Check it out if you would like to get free things. I showed you some of these before. I think many of you have seen them. Take a look, download some new ones if you have not visited in a while. Someone says, what is the time of this session every week on Facebook? We're every week, Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m., Japan Standard Time, 11 a.m. on Thursday. You can set a notification to make sure you get this live stream every week. Let's look at our lesson boards one more time before we go to part 3. You can take a screenshot. Hooray! We talked about part number 1, and we talked about part number 2. Now we're going to talk about dangling modifiers. What is that? What is a dangling modifier? So weird, right? So let's find out. Again, you don't need to worry about remembering the phrase dangling modifier, but I want you to remember the error. The error is important. So let's practice together. Dangling modifiers. What is that? Also, I forgot. Please make sure to like and share this lesson so other people can improve their writing too. Okay, let's go. Dangling modifiers. What is that? Okay, a dangling modifier. What is this? Dangling modifiers happen with adverb phrases at the beginning of sentences. Adverb phrases at the beginning of sentences. Maybe some of you remember a live lesson I taught about adverb clauses like 3 weeks ago or so. You can check that live stream for more information about adverb clauses. Hey there on YouTube, THS Box, thanks very much. So check that out for more information. An adverb phrase at the beginning of a sentence gives us some information about a sentence. So, for example, while I was waiting for a taxi, it gives us information about the situation, yeah? Or worried I was going to be late. So we have like some background information. That's what an adverb phrase does for us. So what's the problem? The problem is the subject of the adverb phrase does not match the subject of the main sentence. The subject of the adverb phrase does not match the subject of the main sentence. What does this mean? Okay, let's look at an example. So here, in this part, in these brackets, is my adverb phrase, my adverb clause. Here is my main sentence. Let's read it. Running to catch the train, a cat jumped out in front of me. So once more, running to catch the train, a cat jumped out in front of me. So this is an example of a problem. The subject of the adverb phrase does not match the subject of the main sentence, okay? Think about this for a second. See if you can find the error. Hello, Gombe on YouTube. Thanks very much for supporting our channel. So, did you figure it out? The subject of this clause right here, running to catch the train. We don't see the subject, right? This is grammatically correct, running to catch the train. We don't see it though. Who is running, right? Probably me, the speaker. The speaker is running, I, probably. Then, in the second part, in the main part of the sentence, what's the subject? A cat. A cat jumped out in front of me. So the problem here is that a cat is the subject here, and a cat is probably not the subject here. This is an error that we need to fix. So, of course, it's easy to see when someone is telling you that. So, here is how you can test to see if your adverb clause and your main sentence have the same subject. This is a test you can use. So, move the subject of the main sentence to the adverb clause. change the verb to match the subject. Does it make sense? Okay, so this is very, very simple. I have a quick example. So I've rewritten, here is my adverb clause, running to catch the train. Then here is a cat. So to test, move this subject to the beginning of your adverb clause and change the verb to match the subject. So this becomes, a cat was running to catch the train. Probably not correct. No, not correct. A cat was probably not running to catch the train. Probably. It's probably me running to catch the train, right? So how do we fix this? Rewrite the sentence so the two parts have the same subject. Yeah, great. Some people are making their own corrections. If you have a correction for this error, please send it in the chat, or of course, send your own example too. I will try to check. So, for example, running to catch the train, I dodged a cat that jumped out in front of me. So why is this sentence okay? Because running to catch the train, I is now the subject here. I dodged a cat that jumped out in front of me. This is the subject of the main sentence, and this is the subject of my adverb clause. The two of them match, so this is perfect now. This is one example of how we can fix this sentence. So it's up to you to write a correct sentence. So you can choose something here. Okay. Jeffrey on YouTube says, I was running to catch the train when a cat jumped out in front of me. Yeah. So another way that you can fix this issue is you can put your subject actually in the adverb clause, but in many cases we don't include the subject in the adverb clause. We've dropped it here. But when you do that, which is actually very common, make sure these two have the same subject. That's the key. Oh, people ask, what is dodge? Oh, to dodge means to like escape something. So like if someone shoots at you, that's very dark, but we'll go with it. If someone shoots something at you, or your friend throws a ball at you, and you move quickly out of the way, that's to dodge something. So in this case, what did I say? I dodged a cat that jumped out in front of me. So that's like saying I was running for the train and a cat jumped out in front of me. I dodged the cat. Yeah? So I like escaped, or I moved around something quickly. Okay. Kita says, can I put when before running? Yeah, when running for the train, that's fine. I dodged the cat while I was catching the train. Okay. Good, good, good. So make sure your verbs also align. I dodged. This is a past tense sentence I did. Yeah, some people are rewriting the sentence. So if you decide, like, you know what, I don't want to use this adverb clause, that's totally okay. But remember, they are very common, so it's good to know how to use them. Rafa on Facebook said, a cat jumped out in front of me while I was running to catch the train. That's fine too. If you have two different parts and you have all the parts clearly labeled with who is doing what, fantastic. That's fine. What is the present form of the verb dodged? Dodged, this is past tense, dodge. Present or infinitive form is dodge, to dodge. So maybe you know the movie Dodgeball with, oh my gosh, Ben Stiller? Yeah. Dodgeball is the same idea. Like dodgeball is the name of a game, a popular children's game where kids throw a ball at each other and try to dodge it. Yeah? Dodgeball. Can we join these with a comma? Yeah, so running to catch the train, comma, a cat jumped down in front of me. So a good rule I talked about in the adverb clauses lesson from a couple weeks ago. I talked about using a comma after an introductory clause like this one. So we're using this to introduce some information, comma after an introductory clause. Okay, that sounds good to me. Okay, that was a lot. Wow, and it is time to finish today's lesson. So I hope that this was helpful. I'm going to show today's lesson boards one more time so you can take a look. Here we go. You can take a screenshot if you like. So this is what we talked about for today. This was the tip for everybody. Some words to try to cut to improve your writing. This is about fixing your lists, making sure your items match, and dangling modifiers, making sure your subjects match in your adverb clauses. Okay, so we will finish there for today. I think that that's good. I don't see other questions that are coming in. So I will show you the topic for our next lesson. Next week, I'll be back, of course. Next week, September 23rd, Wednesday, September 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. You can Google your local time. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to study with English Class 101's YouTube or Facebook videos. So lots of you have asked about how to use the lessons on our YouTube channel. If you don't know, if you're watching on Facebook, all of our lessons are very easy to search on YouTube, English Class 101 on YouTube. A lot of you have asked, how should I use these? What do I do to learn with these lessons? So I will give you some tips for how you can use our videos on YouTube and on Facebook to learn. So please join me again next week. That would be super, super cool. That is all for me. So thank you, as always, for joining me live. I really appreciate it. That's super, super cool. Thank you for your awesome questions and your awesome example sentences. And thank you for sharing and liking the video. We really, really appreciate it. I will say goodbye. So enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you again next time. Bye.